Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin started good into the week, obviously, and is continuing. Bitcoin's price is now at around 51,550, and it's following our primary pathway. So it's following here on the daily chart, the white wave count. There is no need to deviate from that at the moment, as I said before. It's just that we're now moving further away from any, let's say, relevant support levels on the daily time frame. I tried to explain that in the last few days already, that we can really only add a new relevant support area on the daily time frame once we have 5 waves up complete. Okay, until then, we're technically bound by this yellow support area, which ranges down to 35k. So only below 35k, we have to change the perspective on the daily time frame. Surely, there are support levels on the smaller time frames, but I always want to make you aware about the daily. Some people like to trade the daily, only focus on the daily time frame, whereas the smaller time frames allow us much tighter stops, allow us a much tighter support level, and give us warnings much earlier should a structure break. But the bottom line is, even if we are, see, if you have the perspective that you want to, let's say, tune out all the noise, yeah, then you just follow on the daily and you don't care about what happens with the micro action. As long as we're holding 35k, we're still watching for our 55,000 plus target. Yeah. So that's anyway the roadmap to get to 55,000, 56,000 plus, as you know. That's currently what happens. Okay. So again, we also talk about the microstructure every day on the 1 hour time frame. That changes sometimes and everything, but the overall pathway remains unaltered for Bitcoin. And as I just want to explain, it could be that we dip back into the yellow support area. Someone who's only interested in the daily time frame would only use that maybe to add again to the position potentially, as long as we're holding 35k, obviously. A break below that would trigger an alternative perspective. I don't think we need to really talk about that scenario as long as the 35k level is holding, or at least as long as we are far away from it, because we are moving higher and higher, but only so far in 3 waves, as you can clearly see. 1, 2, 3, or A, B, C. Only if we get a higher low in wave 4 and another higher high in wave 5, only then we can really add a next support area, which would be for a 1-2 setup, or I would need to look at what, where we are then to offer you the next support level. But the range remains unchanged as long as we only have 3 waves, which means the further away we are moving from that support area, the higher the risk just gets. But anyway, focus on higher prices as long as we're holding 35k on the daily. So it's not very useful because it's far away, but that's why we also take a look at the 1 hour chart. Just for risk management purposes, obviously, this could still be an ABC structure here to the upside, yeah, and a C wave down could still unfold. That is still part of this scenario. Basically, it's just the short-term bearish wave count in orange that you also see on the, let's say, the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, but then it could just be a reset of wave 4. Wouldn't change the overall assumption. Would just break a microstructure. Okay, and the 1 hour time frame allows us to understand what is the relevant pivot, the relevant level that needs to break for us to tell us that the C wave to the downside is unfolding. Okay, let's go to the 1 hour chart. Here on the 1 hour chart, you see that Bitcoin is extending higher. Let me explain what probably is happening here on which support level is now relevant. By the way, the 1.618 extension level that was reached here at 51,550, it is quite a relevant one. So I think it's just worth observing if we see a reaction there. I think we did get an initial one. So yeah, I mean, then here, this is the 1 hour chart. Here you see the micro support range that I mentioned yesterday. We never broke it, so the focus is on higher. So my message has been quite consistent, that I'm focusing on a move to 55,000 plus in the white count. The white count is the primary pathway. We're getting closer to that target, closer and closer. But the microstructure, or let's say the levels on the micro time frame here on the 1 hour time frame, they tell us when this scenario will get broken or will break. And when I have to favor the orange count, which sends us back into the yellow support area, that support is still at 45,900, as I made you aware and adjusted it yesterday in the video. So that's really the key threshold between the orange count and the white count. I might change that support level to higher later today. Not yet, and let me explain why. So if I zoom in a little bit, we still see this white count, which involves a wave 1, a wave 2, wave 3 probably not finished. Okay, so nothing's changed there, 4 and 5. That should take us to 55,000 plus. I always say plus because there isn't really a maximum target. So that's that's the white count I'm primarily focusing on. There's also the orange one, which, as you know, can send us down lower. But even in the orange one, as I mentioned, we should get another 4-5 pattern. So A, B, and then the C wave higher. But also in the C wave, which is typically a 5-wave move, we've only seen a wave 1, a wave 2, and a wave 3. 4, not happened yet, and then a 5. Looked yesterday a little bit as if the wave 4 was unfolding, but I also gave you the perspective we could easily get another extension, that it also doesn't really matter if the wave 4 is already unfolding or if we see another extension, because in both scenarios we could see an overshooting B wave or the wave 5 here. Doesn't really make a difference. But main takeaway is and was that as long as this red line is holding, there isn't even a confirmation of a top of sorts in place. And then only below the red line, which was I think here 48,370 or something, or 270, only a break below the red line would have suggested that we are testing the orange box, and then this would have been probably wave C of 4. The fact that we're extending higher could still mean we're in an overshooting B wave or wave 5 of 5 of 3. I don't think we had circle wave 4 yet. So how to deal with that? Well, it's simple. We're still watching those support levels. They are unchanged because it could be a high B wave. I don't want to change it. But once I see 5 waves, if Bitcoin gives us another 5-wave move up, I'm going to add or change the support level later throughout the day. And then we can have an updated, narrower support and nearer support that's nearer to the current level. But at the moment, I can say that the earliest evidence, earliest indication that a top of sorts in place would be a break below yesterday's swing low. No, it's actually today's swing low. Here at 49,325 pretty much. Yeah. So that swing low, once that's broken to the downside, it would be a suggestion that the C wave to the downside has started. But overall, we're still following in higher. These are the relevant support levels. They are not broken, so the uptrend remains intact. And our target of 55,000 plus gets closer and closer. That's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.